supporting our English coverage here for the BTS broadcast. So be sure to check that out. And that's it. A word from our sponsors. Fin.
Excellent. Going back to our match then.
Game 2.
Game 2. Do you respect Ban the Tinker? Yes, no?
It depends on what they want to go for, and I felt the Tinker was not really a hero that did a lot. It was just he was given a situation that it was allowed to do a lot. So I don't think it deserves to be banned. It's just like adjusting your picks around the team composition so you can deal with the Tinker more. Like, you need to gang the Tinker. It's a hero, I would treat it like a Storm. If you see a hero like this in a solo mid position, you want to gank him. He has no escape mechanism before. Like, Tinker doesn't even have an escape mechanism at level 6 if you talk about Storm.
We saw how the supports from Secret don't normally
Gank.
like to rotate
Yeah.
mid.
Unless they are
the Chen or junglers do that, but the other support they just rather help the two lanes, the two side lanes. Do you think this might be a problem coming this?
Yeah, it was a problem in that game. We could clearly notice that the mid was having so much of a trouble, and the whole early game they got one kill, the first in the jungle when they moved into the jungle and they caught the axe. And after that they didn't really do so much for the team. And you know, as a Venge and Earthshaker, supports that can't jungle well, you don't get an advantage if you don't get a kill. And either that or you help your lanes and you make sure the lanes win. But the game was like going south. In the middle lane was going south for RTZ. He was having a hard time. Supports not getting killed apart from the first bird. And you compare it to the supports on EG, which Witch Doctor and Skyraft, they take down targets with the axe blink, and they got a lot more accomplished in the team fights.
Yeah.
So what was exactly the plan for the Venge and Earthshaker early on when they didn't want to rotate around the map to help the Medusa when she was having a hard time?
I imagine they were also somewhat caught by surprise by the fact that Arteezy was actually losing his lane, as hard as he was. Because we kind of talked about it a bit, we didn't quite feel it shouldn't have been that one-sided. Arteezy, for the most part, has been playing mid heroes like the Shadow Fiend, where he can win his lane, do really well. So maybe they were just thinking they could just do their normal thing, which is help out the side lanes and not have to protect. Like they don't have to protect Arteezy. He's a Medusa. He's not going to die. But what they didn't expect is that his farm would get shut down.
Yeah, it was like what Bruno mentioned before. Like against a Tinker, you get laser, and he's not a hero that you play every game.
Yeah.
So you tend to forget how strong he is in the 1v1 matchup, and the supports neglected the fact that Tinker actually has the upper hand in the mid matchup, and they didn't pay attention to Arteezy's lane.
Yeah, maybe Arteezy will pick a lane dominator this match. The draft is underway. Let's take a look at how it goes and maybe keep theory crafting that way. It's game 2 of EG versus Secret.
Yeah. That Medusa pick really was, I mean, we were both like, is there going to be a surprise pick? And the Medusa was it. It backfired though, and I don't think we'll be seeing another Medusa pick coming out of Team Secret here for the rest of the tournament probably.
Well, even if they do want to go for Medusa, I'd say Medusa is a hero that fits RTZ. It's just how they build the composition around the hero. It's the more important thing. How they prioritize. Like the last game was because of the laning phase. So hopefully if they want to pick Medusa again, they need to give him a better laning phase.
Yeah, absolutely. I would really like to see Arteezy in one of those lane dominators that he enjoys more. I mean, he does like the farming heroes as well, but I think against Sumail you cannot go for very greedy.
And you guys talk about if there would be a possibility of a Chen versus Enchantress. EG, it has to be when EG picks the Chen, and Secret would reply. Probably there's a chance they reply with the Enchantress.
I think this is what Secret is thinking right now.
Yeah, EG didn't ban any of the junglers, and they have first pick.
Do I ban the Chen here, or do I ban another Sumail hero? It's going to be a tough choice, and they're actually burning a lot of the reserve time. More than half of the reserve time is gone in this first ban. I mean, second ban of the first ban phase.
I imagine Secret are caught by surprise because they didn't expect the Shadow Fiend ban. EG having first pick, you normally wouldn't see the Shadow Fiend get banned out by EG themselves. So Secret's suddenly like, hold on a second, what are we actually going for now?
Yeah.
Like, what do we actually want to ban and then subsequently give them for the first pick? Like, you want to figure out what's going to be left in the pool.
If you think about the laning exclusively and forget about the other areas of the game, is there any hero that you would say counters the Tinker in a way that, wow, it goes with the draw ban?
That's EG Radiant side, love to push.
Yes.
One of the better heroes. They've done that like Venge Drow type draft, but...
And here comes the Chen. And I wonder if Secret doesn't pick a jungler in response to the Chen in these first two picks, if EG will start banning them in the second stage.
Enigma and Enchantress probably would be a very likely ban for EG if they don't choose any of the junglers right now.
Yeah.
You know, I was thinking about the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe things would be different if they go for the normal type of lanes where you
With
actually
Puck
put the
mid.
Puck mid and the
Yeah.
Medusa on the safe lane, and the supports will actually protect. If they don't really want to move the supports, that's a good way of playing it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Puck is a much more normal mid laner.
Yeah, and you can dodge the spells from the Tinker.
Yeah, you can't dodge the laser, but you can dodge the missiles, which is a big source of damage as well. And you don't rely on right-clicking him that much, because as long as you harass him with the orb, it's much easier than the Medusa, granted. But we're gonna see a Venge and Axe coming from Team Secret. A duo that does fairly well together. We talked about that before. Axe, however, not doing so hot. But last game, he was the star of the match.
Yeah, I feel if you look at his, I mean, we saw the win rate of Axe in the playoffs. It's down well below 50%. But at the same time, like some of those Axe games was HDT when they got 2-0'd by Cloud9.
Yep.
Rave played a bit of Axe in the games they lost. So a lot of the times it was underdog teams picking the hero to begin with. So it's kind of a small sample size where I don't feel it's reflective of how strong this hero really is.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, it's all about what other things you get with the Axe as well, because the Axe by itself is going to dominate at the beginning of the game, but he does not keep farming very well. At some point you want to start rotating, you want to start creating kills, and that means that your other two cores have to be able to pick up the slack the Axe leaves open. So
One
go ahead.
one combo Secret did, going back to the winner bracket, which I feel like maybe they pull out here, is the Wisp Tiny. Is that something we even see come back for Secret? They lost that game when they had Mega Creeps, but I feel like, I mean, what Arteezy heroes, like the Lycan, the Shadow Fiend of his are taken out. They're no Drow Ranger for him. There's kind of a much more limited hero pool left, and the Wisp Tiny is probably one of the big high impact kind of Arteezy heroes I can kind of see left in the pool.
It could potentially be exciting to see Wisp Tiny here. Naturally a good combination when you see that there's no heroes that immediately counter them just straight away, especially with EG, as we said before, very concentrated on trying to remove the junglers.
Yeah.
That is something that you don't care too much if there's a Chen pushing, because they will come with a push and you will relocate and do something else. And you still, when you come back, you can be very impactful, because the creeps are tossed targets at the end.
I feel it's something EG probably might not expect as well. Just the one game that Secret have run it, and I mean, they lost that game, but really they shouldn't have lost that game. So
More as in a, I'm gonna ask Winter this one, as in a meta kind of, like not focusing on this draft specifically. How do you feel about picking your two supports first and then leaving your three core? Do you think it's good, it's bad? It kind of says how the rotations are going to be.
I think if you are picking the Chen already, it doesn't matter so much, because the Chen already made the two supports. You have to play in a certain way to accommodate the Chen. But if you are talking about other supports like a Venge, and you don't want to open his partner so quickly, because with a Venge only you would still be able to transition your supports into a lot of different types of playstyles, like you can go Venge and a Chen later. But whereas if you compare to what they have now, they already open with the Chen. It's more or less you have to play that way when you already have the Chen.
Yeah, that is true.
So the Bad Rider finally getting banned out in the last phase, and Secret will be removing the Tinker at this stage of the game.
What to make here is less. Is this an Invoker game for EG? It could well be.
Yeah, the heroes that he usually plays, Invoker, Shadow Fiend is already not there.
Yeah.
Tinker not there. Storm not there,
Storm not
so Invoker would be the next one that comes to mind.
Oh, Team Secret going with the Bristleback, and with these two very heavy frontliners, suddenly EG has to be careful of the Sniper. He has to be careful of those heroes that have a huge long range and a lot of impact. Even the Windrunner could appear here. That's something that Team Secret picked on the past. But most importantly, it still leaves open the Wisp +1.
yeah, it could just be with the Wisp with the Bristleback. I feel like Wisp in general is a good hero we haven't seen Secret maybe use enough.
Yeah. EG is gonna try to think how to counter this. Remember, they do have that 3 cores to pick, so if they want to go for something like Timbersaw here, it's something that they very well could run.
I feel Necroforce could be something that will work this game for EG, and they've run that in the past. They are up against Axe. You blink in, you try to get someone low enough and to get the Cutting Blade off, but they have Chen, and if you combine it with the Necroforce, you have a lot of healing potential. And when the Axe doesn't get a kill, you get the Chop. He takes a lot of damage by coming in. so he's gonna be an easy target for the Necrophos to finish off.
I feel that if EG wants to pick the Necrophos here, they should have banned the AA. Because suddenly with the Chen and
Yeah.
Necrophos...
Next pick maybe.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
they get to see what secret chooses first before they decide. But it's something that I feel might actually work here against the Bristleback. and the Axe.
5, 4, 3.
Oh, there you go,
Okay.
Medusa.
It's like
Medusa.
That is not what I would have
the
expected.
dad is telling his son, I'm gonna teach you how to play this hero. This is how you do it. No, none of this weird stuff that you did before.
And looking at Secret's lineup, I don't think they are able to fit Nyx or Invoker, and they don't pick Invoker basically, so that's out of the question. But at the moment with Axe and Bristleback, you can't fit the Nyx as a core into your lineup against the Medusa, which means that they can't really go for any mana burning heroes against that the mana shield from Medusa.
Do you think Bristleback safe lane is a bad choice in general? Because if you put... Well, there's a sniper.
It's a Bristleback. It can actually be still Bristleback off lane and Axe safe lane.
I
It's very
feel-
open.
I don't know. I feel it could be a sniper. These heroes, all three could go to any lane pretty much, because we've seen S4 playing the Bristleback mid, we've seen him playing the off lane, we've seen the Bristleback in the safe lane with some
Yeah.
offensive tri lane. Sniper we see him mid and safe lane. Axe we've seen it mid and off lane. There's so many ways that Secret can line this up, but if they do like last game, that they don't lane it in the obvious way, that might bite them in the back.
Yeah.
I think they almost need to go with the obvious sniper mid. I think the Bristleback Axe is where they can be
Mm.
flexible.
Yeah, it depends on how you prioritize on giving who farm. Like, maybe you want to give the Axe a fast dagger, or you think that Bristleback coming up with the early mech or early Vanguard would help the team fight much better, giving him a lot of tankability against the Chen army. Those are the things that you want to consider, and the pros and cons of each option that you have.
Yeah, and EG is gonna pick the Clockwork for Universe, leaving just Sumail's hero as the last pick. Now, looking at last game, we saw how EG constructed their victory on the domination of Arteezy, just making sure that Arteezy never took off. And based from there, they took the map control that EG loves so much. Maybe going for something that extremely dominates the sniper might be a choice.
I think Quaswax Invoker is actually really good against the sniper. Sniper wants to stay back, and you have the Tornado to catch him out, to set up the gank from the Chen or the Lion with the Cold Snap, Tornado into Cold Snap as well. So I think that would be a good option here for them.
A less flashy option might also be the Viper, which does...
Has he played
Do we think
that? Has he picked... have
he doesn't play.
No,
That's
no
the thing.
Viper, right?
I haven't seen Sumail playing the Viper.
Would
It's too
Sumail
boring
be
for
playing
him.
the Medusa? I feel like Medusa's a mid hero, not really a safe lane farmer in general.
Yeah, but
I don't know who would play
but
it.
it's like, according to the roles, it doesn't
Yeah.
fit for him to play the...
Yeah.
I mean,
for
they
this-
may run a lot of the teams are running Medusa as like a dual core though. They're running like a secondary carry with it, because Medusa takes a while before you're actually doing damage. I feel like EG's final here has to be something either with high burst damage or another carry.
Yeah.
Quaswax Invoker would
Quaswax
actually
Inv-
fit
I
that
like that.
category.
Yeah.
I like that a lot, actually. Supports are open for Team Seeker. There's the Witch Doctor. There's the... of course, there's still the Wisp. They could still pick the Wisp.
I think Wisp is still really good here.
Yeah, Wisp plus Bristol. If they pick the Wisp, they can actually consider...
Okay,
they're
there's
gonna
the
go
AA.
for A against the Chen.
And also the potential of Necrophos, because Necrophos will fit here if you wanted to put the Medusa mid.
Yeah.
So, just in case, preparing. We're gonna
And they
see.
have very strong supports to actually want to go aggressive if they would choose to do it with the Venge and AA, depending on what EG chooses as their last hero. If they go for a hero which is really weak in the lane, they could potentially abuse the fact.
Brewmaster.
Okay. So Sumail's played one game of Brew, which EG won in the group stage. This looks more like a safe lane Brew, which could still be Sumail, not in the mid lane, but...
If it's mid lane, it's gonna get destroyed by the sniper.
Yeah.
The -2 armor nerf from
You
Brew
go for the
made him-
Drunken Haze build in Sniper, you get early drunk...
Well, headshot bypasses that, I guess, wouldn't it?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I think,
But I mean,
yeah.
that's obviously a percent base, so it still has...
Yeah, but the
So-
Brew, like you mentioned, would... I'm
I
not
think
sure
it's-
how bad he actually the lane will match up for him against
So-
the Sniper.
Sorry, I just want to say. Would you say that if Sniper headshots Brewmaster while he's with Drunken Haze, we can say that 40% of the time it hits every time?
Absolutely, Bruno.
Excellent. Please continue.
10 seconds remaining.
It is actually right. I
That
have
is-
Brian's approval.
That is the grammatically correct way of putting it, without... Yep. No. I'm sold.
Yep. Excellent. So who do you favor, Winter?
I think I would like EG's draft more because it has a lot of control in the team fights with the Brew and the Clockwork, and I would see the Brewmaster and the Clockwork actually making a lot of space for the Medusa to get big.
David, any parting words before we head to our casters?
I think we're going to a game 3.
Wow. That being said, Sans Fan Syndren, this is your game 2 to cast. Good luck, and let's hope for an amazing game. Take it away.
Thank you, Bruno. Welcome back, guys, to game 2 of this lower bracket finals between EG and Secret. Of course, Secret down 1 game at the current moment of time. We have a full 5-man smoke for Secret. Well, let's go over their lineup, shall we? Kuroki's going to be playing the Vengeful Spirit. Arteezy on the Sniper. Puppey, Ancient Apparition. Zai's going to be playing the Bristleback. And last but not least, S4 on the very manly axe.
Let's see how fast Weppers can move the camera. In the bottom lane, we've got Fear playing Medusa. Chen will be played by our 2000. PPD onto his line. In the mid lane, it's going to be Sumail on the Brewmaster. And finally, top lane, Universe is going to be playing Clockwork. Looking at the top lane.
Man, you are just a dream to sit next to. I'll tell you what.
In a previous life, I was a double tempo rapper. My unknown son is...
and
damn,
fail.
that joke fell to the ground. Twister, there we go. All right.
All right, it's too late. Sorry.
Too late.
Well, S4 is going to give up this rune for EG. And looks as if Universe in all likelihood will take that. Arteezy, though, will get the bottom rune for himself. Actually, Lion took it. So I really like giving the bounty rune to supports because I know they get nothing in the lane. So
absolutely nothing.
That's a nice little teammate we got there. We have some wards blocking the creeps for poor Chen, Aoi 2000. Not going to be too happy about that. Of course, he's a renowned Chen player, although since he's been on EG, he hasn't really, I wouldn't call it a standout performances at all. Not sure if, I mean, he hadn't played it for a long time, I guess, until the buff to Aghanim Scepter. That was like, what, maybe a 4-month period, I would say, that Chen fell out of favor?
Yeah, it might actually have been like 3 months. That's true. It was quite a while. I guess the reason you say oh, wait a second, I'm hearing a stun. Okay, that was not even close to being relevant. Well, they kind of took half his health points, so that's something. But yeah, Chen kind of fell out of favor for about 3 months, and I don't know if I would agree with saying Aoi hasn't had standout performances. I guess he's just had less than what we were used to seeing in the past.
Right, yeah.
In Cloud9, he was definitely one of the most valuable players in the majority of their games, and I just feel like the reason he hasn't shined so much is that the rest of EG has just been playing extremely well. It's difficult to shine on a team that has these standout players, especially I think Sumail has taken a lot of the limelight this tournament.
Yep, that is true. He is the prodigy from Pakistan, Arteezy in mid now, trying to prove to his father that he made the right choice in switching teams. This Wild Wing Ripper is arguably the most annoying creep in the game, although I would actually argue perhaps not. The chain, what's the chain lightning one called?
The Harpy.
Yeah, the Harpy.
What's that? What's the full name of that? Damn, there's none of them in the jungle.
Horse head, something like that. Universe pops the cogs, gonna zone everybody out and take the rune for himself. It's gonna be illusions, not exactly what he was looking for. And PPD finds the bounty at bottom. Zai is gonna be the offlaner for Secret, playing that Bristleback in bottom lane. How much do you think he's gonna get out of the lane? It's gonna be the Lion and Medusa. Wouldn't call it the most kill potential early on.
No, I think Zai's going to get a fair amount. He's currently only level 1, but he's going to get level 2 now, closing in on boots, and we might see him get Tranquils, which will allow him to sustain nicely in the lane. Want to comment a little bit on God's prediction, by the way, which is that we will see a Game 3. I would agree with that.
That's a bold statements there, buddy.
I'm not too big a fan of EG's lineup because I feel like there's no defined moment when this lineup is extremely good, right? So the idea is obviously for Brewmaster and Medusa to start sieging down towers, but I think when that timing window hits, they're going to have AA ultimate, they're going to have a Blink Dagger on Axe, and they're going to frontline with Bristleback. And EG don't have heavy single target damage. Medusa is a spread damage carry. They have got Finger as like their only kill potential, pretty much. And I have a hard time seeing it cutting it, but with that said, it's very important for EG to get off to a good laning stage in order to have a shot at executing this strategy, I feel. If they lose the laning stage, I think it's borderline impossible to win with their picks. But they did very well in the laning stage in the previous game, so we'll see if they can do it again. For now, Sumail at least doing a great job in mid against Arteezy, leading the lane. Fear getting pretty much free farm bottom. And the trade-off is, of course, S4 on the Axe. having the highest CS in the game right now on top.
Yeah, I think I can agree with what you're saying. I mean, I think the wild card here is Aoi on the Chen. If they can get some early ganks going, if they can push some early towers, perhaps they could snowball a bit. I mean, Brewmaster's just been super underwhelming ever since the nerf. What was it? The armor nerf, and what else was there? The stun on his panda. The
damage on the rock on the boulder. What's that called? Damn, I can't remember.
It's called rock boulder actually.
It's called boulder toss, right? I think so.
Boulder
or toss boulder. Just like breathe fire.
Yeah.
Not sure. Bottom lane, Impale. Plinking away at our Azai. Pretty decent damage being done here, actually. And he might run all the way back to base. Delaying his Tranquils. He's only level 2. This is actually... He's getting less out of this lane than I thought he would. In comparison, Universe in the top lane sitting on level 3 with plenty of regen to spare for now.
Look at AUI. He almost got level 4 from that stack. He had the Wild Wind Ripper Tornado.
He's not done yet.
And he stacked the crap out of that thing.
That's the second stack.
Well, unfortunately, the Mud Golems will have to take auto attacks, but that's fine by him. He's an equal opportunist jungler, AUI, S4. He's level 5.5 right now, transitioning towards mid. Gonna perhaps go for the Sumail in mid. Brewmaster level 5 at the moment. Berserker's Call is there. Assassinate is gonna be enough damage to take him out. Indeed it is. First blood goes the way of S4, but here comes the transition. PPD, Impale into Hex.
Owie!
If anything, Owie just stands in the shrapnel and dies shortly after. PPD might be in some trouble now. Arteezy going in really deep. A couple more right clicks will do it, but the wand saves PPD life in the end. And 2 kills for Secret. Very quick succession.
Now I can't get it out of my head that Chen was saying owie when he got hit.
Do you prefer AUI?
Terrible joke.
Actually, what do you prefer as far as pronunciation?
Of his nickname?
I switch it up. Yeah.
I call him Owie 2000. I think it's faster. It's faster, right? Instead of AUI, then Owie.
Oh, top lane.
Then you can also make bad jokes with his name. That's great. Oh, Cogs knocking Kuro back. Losing some of his mana. Has a clarity though. I'm gonna sip some of that elixir. And Puppy, by the way, getting a lot of levels. I love this prioritization by Secret. Getting, whatever, just roll with it. Getting Puppy a fast level 6 on the AA should be a really good way of putting a halt to EG's plans here. And already with the 2 kills they managed to claim in mid, Arteezy's off to a really good start. So is S4. Everything is really going
according to
Secret's
that had to do with
plan.
that gank, though, of course. I mean, you were talking about how Sumail was doing excellent in the mid lane, especially considering Sniper's pretty damn good against melees ever since that... Well, I'd argue actually he was always pretty good against melee, but... is that for real? Arteezy's first Sniper? I could have sworn I've seen him play Sniper, but... The stats don't lie. Brian is a great statsman. He doesn't drink on the job or anything like that. It's very impressive to watch. And Sniper level 8 right now for Arteezy. He has the phase boots, Ring of Aquila, and 400 gold to boot. Does he actually... Do you not go bottle on Sniper mid?
You can. I think...
Because he is maxing... Well, actually, no. He left Shrapnel level 3. Now I
think with his focus right now, I would say bottle was a thing that was better in the past when you would push the tower with Shrapnel. But the mana cost on it right now, relative to how often you use it... I think bottle is actually a waste in most cases. It's nice if you can get some decent rune control, but I don't think Arteezy is expecting to claim all the runes against a Brewmaster who just has, I want to say, a more effective way of pushing the lane than Shrapnel. And instead he's prioritizing the lane dominance build with the phase boots early on from the kills, and it seems to be working. He's now overtaken Sumail on farm by 1 CS.
Universe pausing the game. There's a lot of storylines here between the two teams. Switch-ups, some drama here and there. I was actually thinking of a funny scenario. So let's say Arteezy gets first blood on Sumail mid, and he says, "That's how you do it, son." Then Universe comes down the lane, hand in hand with his princess, AUI 2000, and proclaims, "Don't you talk to my nephew that way." But then Fear rolls down mid lane in his wheelchair. Old man, Father Fear, looks directly into Arteezy, his son's eyes, and softly says, "Where am I?" Okay, I'm done. And I'm dumb. No, but seriously, there
I
are
kind of
some-
enjoyed that.
you can make a comic
I have a
book.
bad sense of humor too, so I enjoyed that.
You can make a comic book between these two teams with
Yeah.
all the drama that they
Wait. So who was Sumail's dad?
No, Sumail's uncle
Uncle.
was Universe.
Okay.
And Fear, it's his illegitimate child.
Okay.
His real only son, the one that he acknowledges, is Arteezy, who left him and backstabbed him.
I'm sure people are going to be writing this fan fiction. There's no doubt about it.
I would pay, not very much, but I would pay a little bit to read amazing comics of that nature. Not gonna lie.
I would pay a little bit.
Yes, I'm a little stingy.
That's big. That's big for you to say.
Thank you.
You're not a big spender by nature. Here's the resume coming out as the pinks seem to have dropped, so they're giving it a shot. Looks like, since we didn't get an immediate repause, we're going to assume things are good here. And well, back into the game. Secret are still... Everything's going according to plan. The Vanguard is up on S4 before 8 minutes. He's going to be working on his Blink Dagger, currently stacking the Troll Camp. And well, so, okay, let's try to focus a little bit on what EG is going to do, because we've talked about how we think their timing window is smaller, and they need to get something done early on. Aui's almost level 6. They have level 7 on Brew, who is about 1,400 gold away from a Blink. Line is level 5. We'll probably get level 6 in the next 2 or 3 minutes, and Clockwork is level 5, and same story. Uh-oh, Clock is level dead.
Damage.
Maybe.
Ice Blast hits. He's
Assassinate.
gonna TP out.
Ooh.
Assassinate will not connect.
Very
He'll
good
be
TP.
Good to go. If that hit, definitely a death coming his way.
And I think that still hits him across the map if he fires the Assassinate. I don't think TP disjoints it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I've seen that in fails, so I would assume that's correct. So you're saying when they get those items and those levels in combination, that's a strong point for them. That's one of their peaks, minus the Medusa, I guess. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think they have to try it at least. I'm not sure they're just flat out stronger as Sumail. Oh, really close with the 8 of the rocket and a crit there. As bottom lane, there's going to be an Impale on S4, taking some decent damage, but man, that Vanguard, he's not scared of anything right now.
We talk about this every single game that Axe is picked, which is actually every single game. As Ice Blast is now going to come down towards bottom. Fear, it will hit him, but
they don't stand
no
a chance
reaction
of
fall.
killing him.
Blink or Vanguard first? He went Vanguard on Axe. This game, do you agree with that?
I don't think there's any pressure on Secret to play super aggressive right now, so I think it's fine. It allows him to stand in lane like this and not really be intimidated by anything. So in this situation, solid choice. I also would have agreed with a Blink first. It's one of the situations where I think both of them have their merits, but we've seen other situations where we're like, wow, that Vanguard, really? Was that worth it?
Yeah.
But Secret, as mentioned, they're not really looking to take the initiative because Zai is so far behind that they have to buy time for him. And S4 being able to just stand in lanes will allow Zai time here. He's going to stack the Ancients again. He's currently level 4 at minute 10. The Clockwork in comparison is 6.5.
That's the most surprising thing this game is how he hasn't gotten anything in that bottom lane.
Dire off lane, buddy.
Yep. Mask of Madness, early one picked up by Artizzle on the sniper as he's taking a little bit of
Who's killing who here? I think Arteezy got it.
Oh! I was trying to cast that fight without seeing it. It's pretty tough, not gonna lie. Shout out to Wepis, best cameraman EU. Love you, buddy.
And an A for
Actually,
the moment.
it's a legitimate shout out to Wepis because he's been basically being cameraman for every single game for the most part, minus like a couple here and there.
Every single minus some of them.
Every single minus some, but the hours that we work is like 16 hours a day. It is insane that he's just...
He has some long work days.
Yeah,
he's very committed.
He's a beast. What
Absolutely.
S4 going to clean up this stack.
They let S4 get the stack. I understand getting him a fast blink, but look at poor Zai. Position 5 Bristleback is a thing of pub games, and it's not successful.
I'm surprised they didn't at least give him some levels out of that.
Yeah, I don't know what the idea was with that.
I mean, I understand getting the fast blink dagger on Axe, but yeah, the levels I'm not sure. I don't think we've seen a primal split yet from Sumail. What's his status on blink dagger for the Brewmaster?
200 to go.
Okay.
I want to say that's the go call for EG. They get Blink, they get level 6 on PPD, and then they go. They start sieging some towers. Currently, Fear pressuring the bottom tier 1. Arteezy's going to move down. A ultimate, going to hit a range creep.
Get wrecked.
Absolutely.
So Arteezy going for the very standard build these days. Kind of a glass cannon, Mask of Madness, stand in the back and hope to God that nobody initiates on you. Speaking of initiation, Kuroki, looking for it, but nothing will come of it. Fear is still, I mean, even without farm, the hero is extremely difficult to kill, as double blink daggers picked up, as expected for both Axe and the Brewmaster. And right now, a little bit of a lead for Secret overall.
This is an odd skill build on Fear.
He went for a 3-2-3. Do you think he started, I can't remember what he started with, but maybe Mystic Flare in the early stage?
That's only Skywrath who can do that.
What did I say?
Mystic Flare.
Well, that would be great on Medusa.
Man, if that was a regular skill for Medusa, legit. I think she went 0-2-1 in the beginning, as most Dusas do. Hookshot mid, they're going to go in on Zai. The counter initiation is there, though.
Yeah, S4 not able to get off his dunk. Look at him go! My goodness, it took him 3 attempts. They end up getting killed in the end. It's a 1-for-1, as there's the Mystic Flare / Snake. S4